am Irinaki, I draw and animate, and my current obsession is Epic the Musical. In this video, I'll be drawing some gods, Greek gods, the ones that appear in the Epic the Musical. I won't be drawing all of them because there's quite a few, especially in the song God Games. As the name says, there's a lot of gods there. The video will get really long, so let me know if you want a part 2 of this video and I might draw the rest of them. So I'll be doing the ones that appear in the sagas before the Wisdom Saga. So I'll be drawing Athena, Poseidon, Hermes, and I have to thank you all for all the nice comments and suggestions and opinions that you all left on the last video. Really appreciate that. I get always really happy to read your comments. And thank you also for helping me with the pronunciations. For those who corrected me in the comments, thank you so much. I'd like to address that in the last video I said George Rivera, and some of you pointed out that that's not the correct pronunciation, and I'm sorry. So it is Jorge Rivera Herons. I hope I pronounced it right this time. So yeah, thank you for telling me that. And the last thing before we get to the real designs is that I'm not an expert on Greek mythology, so please have in mind that all the designs that I'm doing here, it's mostly based on what I've heard in the musical and other people's designs. So without further ado, let's get to the video. So I'll be starting with Athena, because between the gods, she's the one who appears more and who has the most significant role, and because I really like her. I like to base my designs on the animal that these gods are associated with, because all of them have one or more animals to be associated, usually at least. So Athena obviously has an owl as the base animal. I had already done a reference page for her because I really like her and quite some people liked my design for her, so I did it. So what I'll be doing here is her design after the God Games and after Zeus fried her, you know. So I'll be explaining my design but with a world reference. So Athena is associated with an owl that is called Athena Noctua. That is this little guy, but I thought it was a little boring. Like, don't get me wrong, I think it is cute, but it doesn't have really like any iconic trait, if I can say like that. So I choose Big O, I think that's the name, because it has the little ears. It's not ears, you know, I know it is not meant for hearing, it has another purpose, but I don't know a lot about owls. But I wanted to add it because it is more recognizable. So I gave her little owl ears on the helmet, and I gave her kind of a beak on the mouth. I gave her claws on the hands and feet. I gave her like owl legs because I thought it looked cool. Her clothes is basically those war uniforms that they used on the time. I made some little changes to make it more cool and stylish. It's basically the same. I have some extra details on the reference page itself, so I'll put it here. And her cape is kind of to reference the chest feathers that the whole has, and has her wings. So back to the actual thing I'm drawing now, is that I'm drawing her with the lightning scar. It's not a lightning scar because she's not a human, so a thunder wouldn't have the same effect on her as it will have on a human because she will be dead. And because this is more stylish. So I gave her a yellow scar that resembles a thunder, and I gave her on the left side of her face and on her shoulder. I also made her left eye half closed, and that's basically it. That's our Athena design. Okay, so the next one is Poseidon, and the animal he is associated with is the horse and the dolphin too, but I mostly used the horse. So my first idea was to do him half seahorse, but then it looked a little bit too silly, so I changed it and I make him like a centaur, but like the horse part is made of water. I made his hair and beard made of water too, and I gave him like, I'm not sure how you call it, these fish ears that I gave him. I don't, and that's pretty much it. I gave him some details like sea plants around the body, and I also wanted to give him a crown because he's kind of the king of the seas, I guess. So I made a little close-up drawing. I made his trident with some little details like a shell, some sea plants, and water around, like to show that he controls the water. I also gave him a little trident mark on his arm because it looked cool. I'm not really good at doing water texture, but I tried my best. And I also gave him like sea foam on the hair and on the tail because it looked cool, and very sharp teeth like a shark. And that's it. This one was more simple. Okay, so the next one is Hermes, and I decided to base his design on a rooster because he is associated with that animal. He is also associated with turtles and snakes at some point. I made his color palette close to the rooster color palette because I like the colors and because I wanted to mainly base my design on that animal. I gave him some feathers on like around his body, and I made his cape with turtle shell pattern because I also wanted to incorporate that animal in this design. I gave him a bag so he can have a place to put his letters that he has to deliver. I gave him this puffy pants. This one doesn't really have a meaning. I just really like this type of clothes. Some of my designs have this type of pants because I really like it. And I gave him his staff that I think it has a specific name. I think it is caduceus. I hope I pronounce it right. I gave him that, but has a symbol on his chest. I originally planned on like drawing him with his staff on the hand, but then I changed ideas to make his pose a little bit more dynamic and put him holding a letter instead, but he still has his staff. I just didn't draw it here. And I put some patterns on his pants too, with a snake and some leaves. The leaves don't really have a purpose here. I made it more thinking of the holy moly, but doesn't really have to be related to that. It's just so the clothes aren't so boring. I also gave him like a winged tail because yeah, it looks cool. And that's pretty much it. That's our Hermes design. So this was a video. There are all the designs that I did. Actually, I was planning to do more than these designs in this video. I was planning to do, besides these ones, Helios, Zeus and Circe. But then I changed idea because it will get really long. So I'll probably do a second part with these other gods. And tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me what you would have done differently, your ideas. Tell me also if I said something wrong. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.
Busy fighting, more like busy spiting. The Cyclops let him feel the pain that his mother felt and wrought. Wait! Please reconsider this.